My family made me think I had a mental problem. It all started when I was 13. Every time I made a mistake, my mom would say, "That's not normal. Don't you realize something's wrong with you?" If I forgot to take out the trash, if I talked to myself, if I laughed at something they didn't understand, everything was a reason for my family to look at each other like they were dealing with someone special. My older sister was worse. Whenever she had guests over, she'd whisper, "Don't ask her too many questions, she's off." And then she'd laugh like it was a joke, like I wasn't standing right there, like I couldn't hear her. Over time, I started to doubt myself. I'd look in the mirror and think, is there something in my head that's not working right? I had good grades, I read a lot, I got along with everyone at school, but they always found something to criticize. Why do you repeat yourself so much? Why do you walk like that? Why do you laugh alone? They sent me to a specialist, not a real psychologist, just some strange guy, a friend of my dad's, who asked me confusing questions and then gave my parents reports filled with technical terms. He never told me anything directly. Once I asked, why am I going to these sessions? And my mom just said, it's better if you don't know. At 16, one day my dad yelled at me for talking back. He grabbed my arm and said, with what you have, you should be grateful we haven't had you institutionalized. That's when I realized it wasn't just exaggeration. They truly believed something was wrong with me, or they wanted me to believe it. One day, I found a folder on my mom's desk. It was labeled Clinical Evaluations of MS. I opened it with trembling hands. There were behavior questionnaires filled out, but not in my handwriting. They were supposedly answered by me. They said I had psychotic episodes, that I talked to people who didn't exist, that I had violent thoughts. None of it was true. I took photos of everything. Every sheet, every forged signature. I cried for hours, but I didn't say anything. Not yet. I waited. 2 weeks later, my mom said there would be a new evaluation, this time at an institute. She said if I passed, they'd leave me alone. I went, but not alone. When we got there, I had already spoken with the psychologist. I showed her the photos of the forged documents. I told her everything. She listened seriously and asked me to wait. When my parents entered the room, she confronted them. She asked why they had submitted altered forms and why they had tried to institutionalize me without a proper evaluation. My dad turned red. My mom only said, "We just wanted to be cautious." That same day, an investigation was opened for falsifying medical documents. I was temporarily moved to a distant aunt's house while the process unfolded. My parents didn't speak to me for months. When the case closed, I was 17. I could legally choose where to live. I never went back to that house. I moved to a different city. I changed my last name. I never wanted to know their true reasons. But a year later, I got a letter. Not from my parents, from my sister. It said, "I'm sorry. I filled out the forms. Mom asked me to. I thought it was a game. I didn't know it would go that far." I didn't reply. I just kept the letter as proof that for once, I wasn't the one who was wrong.